Now many of you gathered here tonight in the church of St. Cain and Abel in Hampstead Heath will know that these words are in fact Cockney rhyming slang. Cain and Abel means table, and Hampstead Heath means teeth. Now I'm very glad to welcome tonight a large group of Cockney worshippers to Evensong, and it is to them that I wish to address my sermon. As Max Hargreaves would say, I want to tell you a story. A long time ago, in the days of the Israelites, there lived a poor man. He had no trouble and strife. She had run off with a tea leaf some years before. Now he lived with his favorite bricks and mortar, Mary. And being very short of bees and honey and unable to pay the Burton-on-Trent, he was tempted to go forth into the Bristol city to see what he could half-inch. And he would say to Mary, his bricks and mortar, I will take a ball of chalk into the town, and buy some tobacco for my cherry ripe. And he would put on his almond rocks, and his dicky dirt, and his round the houses, and set off down the Frog and Toad, until he reached the outskirts of the Bristol. And people would stop and stare at him, for his dicky dirt was torn, his how-do-you-do's were full of holes, and his coat was extremely Westminster Abbey. He was also somewhat unclean, being too poor to purchase any Cape of Good Hope. His bushel and peck was extremely 2.30, and people would pass by on the other side to avoid the pen and ink. He was truly an ugly man. His north and south drooped, his mince pies were watery, and he had an enormous red, I suppose. One day his bricks and mortar Mary gave him some money, saying, Here is a saucepan lid. Go into the town and buy food, a loaf of Uncle Fred, and a pound of stand at ease. But do not tarry too long in the town, and bring me back all the money that is left, for I must buy myself a new pair of early doors. My present ones are full of holes, and I am in a continual George raft. But instead of returning with the bees and honey for his bricks and mortar's early doors, he did tarry too long in the town, and he made his way towards the Rub-a-Dub for a tumble down the sink. And he became extremely Elephant's Trunk and Mozart. And when the landlord of the Rub-a-Dub called Birdlime, the man set off again towards his cat and mouse, reeling about all over the Frog and Toad, and drunkenly humming a stewed prune. And it came to Khyber Pass that as he staggered along, he saw there on the pavement a small brown Richard III. And he stared at it, lying there at his plates of meat. And he said, Oh, small brown Richard III, how lucky it is I did not tread on you. And he picked it up, and he put it on the wall, where no one would tread on it. And a rich 4x2-ish merchant, who witnessed the deed, put his hand into his skyrocket and took out a Lady Godiva and gave it to the man, saying, I saw you pick up that Richard III, and that was a kindly act. Pray take this Lady Godiva for your froth and bubble. And the man went on his way rejoicing, and the small brown Richard III flew back to its nest. Now when the man arrived home, he found his daughter sitting by the Jeremiah on her favorite Lionel Blair, and he handed her the money, saying, Here is a Lady Godiva I earned by a kindly act. And the daughter was overjoyed and said, Oh, thank you, father, now I can have my new pair of early doors, and you too can have your drink. Verily, that kindly act has ensured that we both have enough to cover our bottle and glass. I thank you all.